Capital News tonight. 10 killed by floods in Lindi region. President Dr. John Magufuli receives credentials from 9 envoys. And in sports, the girls under-20 national football team to leave for Uganda on Thursday for the World Cup qualifier return leg match against their hosts. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. First, the national news. The ongoing rains in Lindi region have caused the death of 10 people, with the Regional Commissioner Godfrey Zambi saying the death toll could rise as some of the families are missing relatives. He said that 1,531 out of 15,000 residents have been rescued from Jinjo village, being the most affected by the floods.
Kwa ninachoweza kusema kwa ujumla hali si nzuri sana.
So far as a region, we've had 8 fatalities, although we don't have official statistics yet, so we have to wait as we receive more information. Things are not stable yet. We are asking for more assistance. The government should see that once the floods have passed, then no one returns back to the high-risk areas. A lot of houses were immersed in water, but due to the effort by the Regional Commissioner's Office, the police force, fire brigade and prison service, a lot of the victims have been rescued. Rescue operation is still going on to rescue those affected. When we woke up in the morning, the house was already filled with water, so we sought refuge at a school. But then the government provided us with aid. We are ready to leave this area.
Former Speakers Pius Msekwa and Anna Makinda today were dressed in gowns they had worn during their leadership of the National Assembly. Speaking in Parliament, Speaker Job Ndugai said this is the first time such a procedure has been done, recognition of the work by former Speakers of the House.
We've started this arrangement whereby from now retired speakers will be given robes used during their period of service. This arrangement is practiced by other countries across the world. So we saw it fit that we should do the same here. Since the time of our country's independence in 1961, we've had 7 speakers. If we want to develop our country, then patriotism must come before anything else, because this country belongs to all of us. So a different political affiliation must not divide us. We are all Tanzanian. I commend my government of the United Republic of Tanzania for their continued support.
Meanwhile, the Amendment Miscellaneous Laws Bill and Reconciliation Bill were today tabled in the National Assembly by the Minister of Legal Affairs and Constitution, Ambassador Augustine Mahiga.
Section 22 will be amended to allow for the annual party meeting to be attended by representatives. The aim of these changes is to have a better system of conducting party meetings. This issue has been politicized rather than viewing it from a professional perspective. A lot of people wanted to study law because of how professional lawyers operate.
Connectivity between Bariadi, Itilima and Meatu districts in Simiyu region has been affected after the bridge over Mahaha River in Bariadi district, Simiyu region, was swept away by floods caused by heavy rain last night. Bariadi District Commissioner Festo Kiswaga has visited the area and urged residents living in valley areas to vacate immediately in order to prevent further disasters.
The rain started about 7 yesterday, so we had to ask passengers to leave the bus. We are asking if the road can be repaired quickly. So far, vehicles from Itilima are not able to enter Bariadi. The same applies to vehicles coming from Bariadi going to Itilima. I ask Simiyu residents to leave high-risk areas because it looks like more rain is likely to fall. Work has started to reopen the road. The contractor is getting materials ready, so we hope shortly vehicles will be able to pass.
President Dr. John Magufuli today received credentials from 9 ambassadors who have appointed to represent their countries in Tanzania. The new ambassadors are Maria Amelia Maio de Paiva from Portugal, Douglas Fu Pyongyang of Singapore, Alex Chua of Philippines, Angela Veronica Comfort of Jamaica, and Dr. Christian Fellner of Austria. The other ambassadors who also presented their credentials are Francisca Ashti Odunton of Ghana, Jesus Agustin Manzanilla Pupo of Venezuela, Yassine Elmi Buho of Djibouti, and Ambassador Oded Joseph of Israel. President Dr. Magufuli assured the new envoys of strengthening relations with their countries, particularly on economic diplomacy, and he urged them to sensitize investors to invest in various sectors such as agriculture, livestock keeping, fisheries, minerals, and gas for the benefit of the countries. Moving on, hundreds of residents of Kayenze ward in Ilemela district, Mwanza region, have turned up to witness the test trial of MV Ilemela, which will provide passenger and cargo transport between Kanyezi and Mbezi on Lake Victoria and address the problem of unsafe transport used by more than 3,000 residents from the areas.
My main concern is for the vessel to be well taken care of so it can continue to serve the people whom previously used unsafe means of transport. In a very short space of time, the vessel will start to operate. This should be within 1 to 2 weeks. There are some dishonest passengers who leave the ship with life jackets or the flutes. It is my hope that staff on board will control this behavior and take care of the ship.
United Bank of Africa, UBA, has said it has made big achievements since it commenced services in Tanzania, making a profit of 2 billion shillings last year. This was said by the Managing Director of UBA Tanzania, Osman Imam Isiaka, after a tour of IPP media houses. He said business has grown after the bank reduced interest rates and that loans have increased from 34 billion shillings to 42 billion shillings.
Through all the various media houses within this session, we are actually impressed with the level of investment, with the level of software applications and people around. The level of the cordial reception received from the entire staff and management of the organization is quite impressive. For us in UBA, this is the beginning of a new partnership 2019 was a very successful year for us. For the very first time, we declared a profit of over unaudited profit of 2 billion shillings, and we recorded a growth in our deposit by more than 136%. We have also supported the economy through loans, and we have grown our loan portfolio by 23% during the financial year, moving from 34 billion to over 42 billion in loans.
And that is the end of national news. International news follows shortly. And in international news, public health experts in Hong Kong have said there could be thousands or more carriers of a deadly new coronavirus in China, and called for the enforcement of draconian travel curbs to prevent a global epidemic. As of Tuesday, China had confirmed 106 deaths, including the first death in the capital, Beijing. It also reported at least 4,515 infections, with 1,571 new confirmed cases. Several other countries include Germany, France, South Korea, Japan, Nepal, Thailand, Taiwan, Australia, and the United States, Singapore, and Vietnam have also confirmed cases. Student from China who arrived at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi, Kenya with coronavirus symptoms has been admitted at Kenyatta National Hospital Isolation Ward. Kenyatta National Hospital Communications Manager Hezekiel Gikambi has said that when the student arrived at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, he was flagged by the infectious disease units at the airport.
Today, the morning of 28th January 2020, the Ministry of Health was notified of a passenger who was aboard a flight KQ887 from Guangzhou in China, who upon a screening on arrival at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport was found to have a fever. I state at this point that a fever could be occasioned by any ailment, but the traveler reported he had not been in contact with a known case of novel coronavirus 2019, and he was immediately isolated in a temporary holding room at the airport. He was later transferred to the infectious disease unit in Kenyatta National Hospital for further investigation and admission. On examination, the suspected case was found to be in stable condition with all vital signs within normal ranges. We wish to advise members of the public as follows. 1. The need to maintain basic hand and respiratory hygiene. 2. Safe food practices need to be observed across the country. 3. Avoid close contact with people suffering from acute respiratory infections. And finally, and in addition to this, anyone who is exhibiting symptoms of respiratory illness such as fever, coughing, difficulties in breathing, sneezing with a history of recent travel to China.
Security officers in Kampala, Uganda have detained 2 people alleged to have abducted 4 Indian nationals who have been missing in the country for 2 weeks. The Indian nationals had been given assurance of getting employment in Canada before they were abducted.
What we know so far is that there is a group that invites foreign nationals.
What we know so far is that there is a group of people that invites foreign nationals from different countries, and when they arrive in the country, they take the foreigners' passports and start blackmailing them.
And they make you feel like you're in that country illegally, so they start asking money from you.
And that is the end of international news. Business news follows next after this break.
Watch Business Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news. The government in Morogoro has directed security organs from national parks in the region to strengthen the fight against poaching due to natural resources and wildlife's contribution to economic growth of the country.
Those who are committing such crimes are doing it for their own benefits. That is why they deserve stern measures against them whenever they will be found guilty of the offenses. I am directing all security organs in the area to deal with those people accordingly. This is one among the projects that are done at the reserves with support from communities surrounding the reserves. However, we are all responsible in preserving reserves for the economic benefits to all.
Mobile phone company Airtel Tanzania has launched a campaign called Nunua Luku Ongea Bure, which will enable customers pay for electricity through Airtel Money and get free airtime for up to 80 minutes.
From now onwards, anywhere in the country, when our subscriber is buying electricity online, will be awarded with up to 80 minutes airtime. For example, when one buys Luku for 100 shillings, will be awarded with 1 minute and 40 seconds airtime. Today, we are officially launching a promotion to our subscribers who buys Luku through Airtel Money, where from now onwards they will be awarded with airtime.
Farmers in Kilindi District, Tanga region have called on the government to speed up construction of roads, as many of them are unable to transport their crops to the market due to the poor state of roads.
Our district has many farmers due to fertile land that nourishes plants like maize, cassava. However, farmers are still living in hardships since the middlemen buy the crops at lower prices. Last week, I spoke with Tarura manager to do something about this road since it is impassable. If there are roads that needs to be worked on, must be presented forward, since the roads are used in the agriculture economy for transporting crops, where traders suffers losses greatly.
And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows shortly.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. position, Joaquinho. He did lose to Lynn.
Welcome back, and in sports news tonight. The girls under 20 national football team is expected to leave for Uganda on Thursday for the return leg match against their hosts as they compete to qualify for the World Cup on 1st February in Kampala.
Kwenda nchini Uganda.
The team will leave to Uganda on Thursday, where the results whether we will win or have a draw, we will be able to qualify to the second stage. Meanwhile, we do believe that the match is going to be tough, but the coaches have done a great job in preparing the team for excellence. The good news is Tanzanians will be given opportunity to go and watch the match, since we will be using our TFF pass.
Tayari tumeshatuma advance part kwa maana ya kuhakikisha kwamba timu inapofika pale basi inakuwa iko vizuri.
After defeating Tanzania Prisons, Yanga will tomorrow start training for their game against Mtibwa on Sunday in the FA Cup tournament.
The
coach says that the matches have not yet begun. What has been showcased is just 20% of Yanga players' capacity. He wishes to see Yanga have over 1,200 complete passes. We have also observed the game's a tight schedule, something that we are planning to work on so that we could fulfill our target of taking Young African Sports Club to be a very competitive team.
Isogeza Young Africans kuwa very competitive team na iweze kuleta tija katika maendeleo.
Roger Federer defied age and logic once again to save a 7-match point before beating unseeded American tennis Sandgren in a sensational Australian Open quarter-final. The out-of-sorts Swedes fought off form and fitness concerns before winning 6-3, 2-6, 2-6, 7-6, 6-3. World number 100 Sandgren looked set to be the lowest-ranked player to reach the Melbourne semi-finals since 1991, but third seed Federer battled to win in 3 hours and 28 minutes. He will now play Serbia's Novak Djokovic in the last 4 after the defending champion beat 32nd seed Milan Raonic. Now, moving on. LeBron James says he is heartbroken over the death of Kobe Bryant and has promised to continue his fellow basketball great's legacy. Bryant and his daughter Gianna were among 9 people killed in a helicopter crash on Sunday. LA Lakers star James surpassed Bryant to become the NBA's 3rd highest scorer of all time on Saturday. James also played alongside Bryant at the 2008-2012 Olympics, helping the United States win 2 gold medals. The pair never played together in the NBA, but James, who joined the Lakers 2 years after Bryant's retirement, spoke about how much he looked up to his iconic longtime rival and friend. And that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. Thank you for watching and good night.